Okay, so
This big talk has a sponsor once again.
the UCHG's Big Talk in association with Big Beer. For when small beer just isn't big enough.
As big as your head.
So the subject of today's Big Talk is
Big frightening games.
big frightening games. What's the first game that you played that you were kind of afraid of? A game that made you scared. Like, think back to the first one.
Resident Evil 1.
Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, I didn't even have it. It was around a friend's house, one of the early adopters of the PlayStation 1. And I just saw the intro video when they're being chased through the field by the dogs or something, and then when they come into the house, and then there's the first sighting of a zombie.
Yeah, and it's eating that man's
Yeah,
face.
And all the he's eating somebody, and all you've got is a knife, and you're just like, ah!
And that mouldy dog bursts through the window.
Yeah.
And again, all you've got is a knife.
Yeah.
And weirdly some herbs that you picked up from somewhere.
Yeah.
I know the zombie was scary enough, and you go in and it turns around. But then you're thinking, okay, yeah, fair enough, it's not going to get much worse than that. Pow! And again, all you ever had in that game was either a knife or a gun with 3 bullets.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
You were almost low on ammo.
That's why I think Resident Evil was one of the scariest games. Is the lack of ammo.
Exactly.
It's an interesting thing. You think about all the games which have limited ammo are usually quite frightening. Resident Evil,
Yeah.
Condemned.
Yeah.
Because if you
Realms of the Haunting used to have like literally no ammo anywhere in it at all. You didn't want to have to shoot or waste ammo if you didn't have to.
I mean, the most recent one, Resident Evil 5, it's a great game. I absolutely love playing that.
Great.
And bits of that are fucking terrifying. It's not the same because the controls are better and you're not really as down on ammo.
No.
But, I mean, it's just the story and the way the levels are laid out and stuff like that, and shit comes around the corner that you're not expecting.
I mean, that's the difference, though, isn't it? There's the scary game, and then there's the jumpy game. There's the scary game that contains like zombies, undead, vampires, and all that kind of stuff. Then there's the game that just makes you poo yourself.
Yeah.
When you think nothing's going to be there, and it comes leaping out from behind a corner.
But I mean, shocks, frightening sense of fighting for your
It
own
had
life.
to have a sense of realism for me.
Yeah.
Think games like Dead Space.
Oh,
Dead Space will make you jump, but it's not frightening to a degree that the realistic type ones.
I think you get used to it after a while, even with the jumps. Okay, the jumps are still there, but you kind of get used to the fact that there's these gruesome fucking things.
you just shoot
coming
the
after
legs
you.
off, and
F.E.A.R was a good example of a jumpy game. All the scares in F.E.A.R. are shocks. They're sudden, frightening ghosts appearing.
Little child in a corner with a blood type of thing.
There's a huge difference between a game which just shocks you and a game which builds up a kind of tension and suspense which scares you just generally throughout the whole thing.
The earliest frightening game that I was kind of actually scared of certain characters was Doom. They're just kind of like traditionally scary things. Skulls that are on fire, that fly, are like the substance of horror movies.
The thing is, you got to remember when you first played it, it was like your Call of Duty or
Exactly, it was new.
your Medal of Honor. It was new, and there's nothing else like that. And it was a lot.
It was like the ultimate first-person shooter, and it was scary.
Yeah, absolutely at the time, and the difficulty as well, because nobody's really played anything like that before, apart from Wolfenstein, I guess.
True.
I was quite disturbed by that Call of Cthulu game.
Oh,
gonna
I
say
totally
that.
forgot about that one, man.
Cool.
That's
But
absolutely
That is
awesome game.
that's kind of
Fucking
different
hell.
from frightening in that kind of supernatural,
It was
spooky way, though, isn't it?
disturbing. It was
It's like
disturbing.
it's scary. It's like
constantly-
terror-inducing.
Yeah.
That
I mean-
first bit.
Need we mention the hotel is
Oh man, how much are you
But-
panicking when that's happening?
You have to work out what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like genuinely being chased through a hotel.
You don't
Because,
know what's going on. Then.
You're woken up in the middle of the night, and suddenly you've got to run for your life, and you're shutting doors, you're slamming them behind you, you're bolting them, you're moving like wardrobes in front of doors. Oh, it's great. The whole game is
The
free.
whole game. Is
Yeah, the whole game is really weird.
it doesn't have that much tension as the hotel bit, but I mean, it has that sort of underlying
Do you know what?
creepy tone behind
I
it.
still don't think I ever finished it.
I did.
I got stuck on the poo monster.
I got past the poo monster.
But Penumbra, man, that's frightening.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
played
played
that.
that? Fuck.
Man, I was watching Fen play Penumbra, and between us we were both trying to come up with these solutions to deal with this demon wolf thing. This fucking huge dog, and all we had was like some beef. And we threw this meat into this container, And as the dog went in, and it was a big ass dog, you know, it made the Hound of the Baskervilles look like a little bitch. We shut the door on the container, and then we put loads of rocks and stuff in front of it, and we thought, yes, we got it. We're kind of talking to each other like, you know what, that's pretty cool. And then you just hear bang! you turn around, and the fucking thing is smashing the door down to get after us. It smashed off its hinges, knocked it down, and ran after us. The only way we could deal with it was we had some sticks of dynamite. So we shut the door, then threw dynamite through the window just to blow its ass up. That was the game where if you looked at things for too long, you freaked out.
Yeah, you actually shat yourself and went mental if you looked at stuff. So you had, if you saw a bad guy, you had to look away and keep it in the corner of your vision because your character was actually scared. I don't know if we should come on to what next, Fear or Condemned. Whether it's a complete opposite end of the spectrum.
I don't think we need to talk about Fear.
Yeah, I think we need to move on to the obvious and connected. In that it was exactly the same engine, and in fairness, if there wasn't Fear, there wouldn't be a Condemned. And,
true.
You know, everyone owes a great deal to Fear just for that, really.
I hate Fear just for that because even though I'm a grown man, I just didn't like it.
Oh.
That is.